Brokerage also feeds into these areas. But let's look a little more closely about roles, rules and responses. An example of the rules of an organisation, we've talked a lot about elastic tolerance, for example, and in relation to housing support with a separate housing management organisation, you might have eviction avoidance protocols agreed between the support service and the housing service. A lot of staff will have a lot of services will develop de-escalation techniques, cooling off periods, these things are part of the rules. They are actually often, typically written down in the rule book. But there's a lot of other areas that also create interaction opportunities, possibilities for people to develop relationships, to try out new ways of working and to grow. And these are what I've called the roles. So user involvement, for example, we needed to put that in somewhere. It could come, it certainly would come under the learning and inquiry aspect. As the service is looking at how it's developing, it's going to want to use user involvement as a way of getting feedback from users. But user involvement also creates roles for individuals that they can grow into, gain in confidence and changing that kind of self-image of yourself as a supplicant to becoming somebody who is a co-producing partner. That's a hugely important, significant psychological shift. And these are part of the roles. The role structure that an organisation has available. Peer mentoring is another fairly obvious one. But even things like whether organisations have a key worker role and how that key worker role is developed. These are part of the way that the organisation itself manages interactions with clients, service users. And the unwritten rules around the extent to which the organisation can be fairly flexible in its responses. By definition, flexibility can be encouraged, but it can't be written down and prescribed in the rule book. So I've talked of responses, but really in some ways it's responsiveness. It's the extent to which and the ways in which and the flexibility with which the service and the individual workers can respond to the needs of each particular individual or the needs of the next generation of people coming through the service. And again, pets and plants in animal therapy, I'll sneak them back in here. They were part of the environment, but looking after pets and plants is potentially a role within an organisation, and certainly the change in atmosphere that they create. There's a lot of work, particularly for people who have been really seriously abused, to suggest that some people can relate to animals and plants more readily than they can to humans. Humans are too threatening. So these are part of the responsiveness of the organisation to see how see what kind of responsibilities people are able to take on. So here we go, back to that.